Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy Vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 89th District, working to be the House of Delegates representative for the 93rd District. Y'all, it is Thursday morning, 7 a.m. This is the morning dew for certified doers just like you. Let me put something on this, right? Because what I recognize is because we are in a new district, right? Like we're running in a sizably new district, some of y'all are not used to this. Some of y'all not used to this, to what we do, the certified doers that get up, get at it, and get it done. Your getting up could be at noon. Your getting up can be at 7 p.m. It could be at 7 a.m. But this is what certified doers do. So I just wanted to, first, if you've been doing the morning dew for a while, wanted to just give an overview because I know that some folks are interfacing with us for the first time. Okay, so I got elected in 2022 in a special election. I got elected on a Tuesday night, had to go up to Richmond on a Thursday night. Uh, when I got elected, I made sure that our office was principled. Good morning. I made sure that our office was principled. Like, what are the principles that we will stand on as an office? What can I say you can expect from the office of Delegate Jackie Hope Glass? And there are four key principles that we believe in. We believe in educating, we believe in advocating, we believe in celebrating, and we believe in legislating. But that first thing, that first educating, that is at the top of our list. And so we thought about with principle number one, because first we educate, then we can advocate, celebrate them small wins, and lastly, legislate. How do we get people abreast of what's going on, what's happening, and get them in the know so that we know what needs to be educated on and we have those touch points. So we started when I got elected, we figured out how we were going to be out there all the time. And the first thing we did was monthly uh, um, we did monthly town halls because it was my first time being elected. Monthly town halls every single month. We did a town hall in 2022. 2023 it was more quarterly town halls, which makes more sense quarterly, of because at the state a lot of work it's not happening all the time. So we did quarterly town halls. We did summer school and summer school has happened 2 years in a row, where we bring you in to teach you how to be a part of this process, because I know many of you probably had not heard from your state representatives in the way that you're hearing from me. So if it feels weird, if it feels like I'm just showing up in election time, no, like this is what we normally do. Welcome. This is what it's like. You may feel like you get too much of me, and that's okay. As your representative, if you are in the 93rd district. So some of y'all are familiar, some of y'all not. The other thing that we do is good morning, Elizabeth. Yes, this is how we do it. The other thing we do is this. This is Thursday mornings, the morning dew. We are a group of certified doers that I don't know it all. I will never claim to know it all. But every Thursday on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter or X, and Instagram. That's why you see me looking over here. Instagram is the only one that want to play with our system. We go live. And this is your opportunity to share. This is your opportunity to whatever. This is your space. Typically people sit here and listen to me talk and put it in the chat. That's fine too. I'll do the talking, but I also want you to know this is your half hour every week to hop on, to drop in the chats, to interact with the office outside of our other things. As a matter of fact, I think I need to make sure I'm scrolling at the bottom our information. Let me do that too. But I do this morning have a couple different things I want to go through. I have been on a mission to make sure that we are advocating for putting money in your pocket in a very meaningful way, right? You may have seen on the news recently that we approved a tax rebate for you all. If you're single, you'll get $200. If you're married, you'll get $400. It's a one-time stipend. I will never shake my finger at giving and making sure folks have dollars. ever. We're not going to do. What I'm hopeful for, though, next session is that we're able to consistently make on a consistent basis through tax reform and other ways, make sure that you have money in your pocket, not just a one-time thing where we just do it and walk away. I think we need consistent change where we're taking care of people. So when you see that, yep, the General Assembly went along with that idea, but I know that there is more work for us to do. So we've been doing that. We've been really looking at how do we get with other agencies and other opportunities to make sure you're in the know of how to save your money. Now, I know I wasn't on last week, but I've received a lot of phone calls, emails about water bills and people just interfacing on the streets. Let me explain this. So for water bills, I, as a person at the state level, I don't have any control or any relationship with that's the one utility I do not have, because it's a municipal utility. And by municipal, I mean a local government utility, right? So the water is ran by the locality, not by the state. Dominion is regulated by the state. Virginia Gas is regulated by the state. What's another utility? If you can remember one, drop it. But there are certain utilities that we don't regulate. That does not mean that I can't get educated on what you all are saying your problem is and advocate. And that's what we've done. We've gotten ourselves a bit more familiar on what the issue is with the water bills here in the city of Norfolk. And we are working on the advocacy piece. Something's got to give. There is, if you are looking for relief on your water bill, let me get the program so I can drop it in the chat. That would be a nice thing to do. There is a program for people that need support with their water bill. Unfortunately, I'm just keeping it all the way real with it, is that in order to get the support that you need, you got to be deep in poverty. I think you have to be 150% below the poverty level in order to receive support on your water bill. And I'm going to get that and put it in the chat, because there was a while ago, through the CARES Act, some statewide utility relief program, which is no longer in play. So that would have been state level money. But with the Norfolk water bill, it's a little bit different. I'm trying to make sure that I drop this in the comments. But I know that you all have seen the stories, and tell me, drop it in the chat. Has your water bill been super high, crazy, ridiculous high? Tell me about it. Good morning. And that's for several reasons. And this is the educate piece again, is that one, they don't have enough contract workers to get your billing cycle every 30 days. So sometimes you're seeing a bill cycle that is 45 days of a bill cycle instead of those 30 days. So of course that's going to increase. Secondly, there were some small charges that went up in your water bill that I, like you said, I don't think that it was advertised enough. I don't think that we were put on notice in a way that would allow for us to prepare, or to even word of mouth for doers like you. Even doers like you give you the opportunity to share with your community that this was happening. Yep, that at least that's my humble opinion, and that it just we didn't get a notice that made sense for us to be able to to properly prepare. I think I found it. I did find it, and I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody. It is called shareh2o.org. So if you all are familiar, shareh2o, and I'm saying that for Instagram because I know that Instagram, you don't get to see the things that I'm sharing with Facebook. So shareh2o. Right. That is another way for you. If you know somebody that needs support, there's a high barrier to entry. And I think that is also a problem. That's also a big problem. Secondly, I talked to Dominion yesterday Dominion Energy, because again, we're looking at ways, how do we keep money in your pocket? Dominion is regulated at the state, so there are things we can do and actions we can find. So this is for you all. Please make sure you pass this along. I am encouraging you all, specifically with your own homes, to do a free energy audit. I'm going to sign up to make sure I get mine done too. I thought about this of like, okay, so how much, if my water bill's going up, let me see some ways I might be able to lower that light bill. I know, boo. Alyssa says, boo, Dominion. I get it. But you know that I'm going to always maintain a relationship from a place of where we can be supportive of you, encouraging, and knowing as much as we can resource wise for you all. So I'm going to encourage you, one, to do an energy audit, period. Like, get them to do a free energy audit on your house to see if there are ways that you can lower your light bill. Number one. Number two, I've asked them to come on the morning dew. I asked them to come up to get a representative to come on the morning dew to talk about their weatherization, to do a weatherization sort of course or snapshot. Everything from, starting your laundry at night to, there was one that they said that I was like, I wasn't even thinking about that. From, winter time, which way your fan should be rotating, summertime, which way it should be rotated, closing, if you've got a vent that is attached to a crawl space, closing that in the winter time, but opening it in the summertime. Just all these little things that may help your light bill lessen your light bill. A resource out there is, I want you to know that if you know any churches or any organizations that may be behind their light bill that need support, Dominion, there's a program where they can reach out to the power company to get support on their water bill. Or excuse me, I said water bill. Them daggone water bills are killing me. On their light bills. And then there is a program for low to no income folks to get solar. Just putting these things out here. So I am saying this. I want you all, we need to all get an energy audit. Okay. Can we do that? Can we do get an energy audit so that we are trying what's not going to happen is magically all of our utilities and these other aspects of our lives are going to just magically dip, right? Food costs more, energy costs more, and there's some things that we have control over. So this is a space where I think that we can control what we can, right? We can't control gas prices so much. We can't control food prices, but we can control our consumption of things. And so and this is an invitation in, y'all, right? This is an invitation in. If there's a specific thing that you're doing right now that you're saying, that's helping, that is actually helping my quality of life and saving me some dollars, then great. We want to make sure that we're sharing that with the community, because I know that it's hard out here for a pimp. Okay, not really. We're not, but you get what I'm saying. It's hard out here. It's not easy. I work 3 part-time jobs here, so I certainly understand that that it's difficult. In the chat, what I put in the chat, except for on Instagram, is the Dominion to schedule your energy audit, right? How you can go ahead and schedule your energy audit. I want you to do that for yourself. I want you to do that for your household, but there are some really good tips. I was listening and I was like, all right. And there is, let me look, I'm making sure that I get this right. And there's energy help, just getting support with your bills and things like that. We'll bring them in. Like I said, we're going to bring them in a way that is educational, because I know that some of you, when you hear that name Dominion, you be like, we're not doing that. No. We're not doing that though today. All right. So lastly, what time is it? Well, we got some time here. Actually, looking at the live stream. There we go. Next, I want to talk about what you guys have been seeing on social media from the office. We are committed, and you all, I think many people know this. We believe in the ABCs of governance, right? The ABCs of governance. Y'all can say them with me. ABCs. A is accountability, right? Um, hold on. And I'm gonna go to my website because uh, I want y'all to go to delegatejackieglass.com because we just updated the site, and it may not feel like it may not feel like it is a yeah, a politicky site because this is a site for doers, right? There's a space on the new site where you can get access to all of my legislative positions on all the things from local government to schools to all the things, right? You can get all of that downloaded. It's a PDF. I think we are in a place where we're out here enough. We are not afraid of the questions to ask, to be able to tell you all what it is that we believe, how we want to do business, and why we do business the way that we do, right? Uh, because that's an important piece of how we live, how we choose to show up. So again, we believe in the ABCs of governance. A, accountability. B, boldness, right? Being accountable for ourselves and holding our other folks that should be represented as accountable, boldly walking forward together in a way that makes sense, and not being afraid to be the outlier, not being afraid to say that, you know what, this has happened for a while and it is consistent, but we need another way. Like, boldness is super important in order to challenge these systems that you all felt like we've been a part. And then C, coalition building. I believe that there's a collective effort that we have to make together, a huge collective effort that we have to do in order to build in a way that brings people in. So we believe in the ABCs. A, accountability. B, boldness. C, coalition building. That is fundamentally where we stand. And so as we move forward in this work, I'm asking you guys to be more participatory. We are introducing ourselves to new people. I recognize that it is a little wild. You guys are probably just seeing commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial on abortion, on democracy, on all the things. And I hear it too. I get it. And for many of you, like, you recognize those are issues, but you're also concerned about inflation and the economy, the immediate things, right? And that's why we choose. I think in this space, I've chosen um, to ensure that we hold in the whole. You can know where I stand, but also you need to know where we're going. And once you know where we're going, we can add other things. We're smart people. We can add other things in there, like like what we're doing, the economies that we're working on and things like that. There's not, I don't think we're doing too much damage in trying to get y'all some of your whole. I'd love for these spaces, social media, it's a love-hate relationship for me. I love for these spaces to be more inclusive and for you all to be more participatory. That's why the last several posts you've seen out of us, it hasn't just been on some, where I stand on access to reproductive care. It hasn't just been about those sort of things. It's about real issues. How do we do better with our schools? The attendance post that you guys saw, I have been late at night looking at some of the comments, really trying to, I have someone that is pulling all the comments together so we can sort of really see what the community, at least this community on social media, is saying about the attendance piece. It's huge. It is a 5 alarm fire, y'all. It's wild about the economic development. As you know, if you saw the casino post, you understand that I do not believe that Norfolk should be held hostage by any legislator at the state level, local level, whatever. And the fact that we did have a state level legislator saying essentially they're going to hold hostage funds for us, right? That they're going to hold the hostage funds for us until we get a casino. There are several things that comes across my mind. Who are you getting money from? right? But I also understand you all as the residents. And while I was on the side of like the way we did this casino thing was just completely substandard, I advocated against the process, not against the building, right? Not against the project. Um, that everything that we said that we advocated for about the process has now come to fruition about the project, and that's real. Like that's undeniable. We can't deny that. And so if you're familiar with that work we did back then, then you understand is when I bring these things up as a state legislator, I tie it back to how we get stuff done for you. You wanted the overwhelming majority of people said that this is what they wanted. It's not there. And now it is hindering us in Richmond because the Commonwealth is expecting that we have dollars from our school from this project and that they are receiving money. You all said, hey, we want these jobs. We want these things and we don't have them. And so it requires, I think, a really good relationship between both state and local government in a way that we're able to talk about those cross wires. Not just, I watched their meetings. I mean, I have people that help me to make sure that I'm able to stay abreast of what's going on and how what's happening locally can color some of the work that we do at the state level. And then I have certified doers like you that keep me in the know, right? I say, if you tell me something once, great. If you tell me it, if you're the first person to tell me, I'm going to say thank you. If you're the 50th person to tell me, I'm going to say thank you because we need that, right? Like I need that level of accountability. Accountability, but I have to have those coalitions that are willing to keep me up. As I move up, right, as I've moved up to the state level, I have lost a lot of clarity on what's happening. And so that's why I asked you guys to be a part of this. I need you in this process to provide some of that clarity. And we have as many people as we can. So it was the schools, it was the casino, and then the last one is about vision, right? I don't know where we're going. I have a vision, right? And I've listened to you all and said, I understand that you want a commonwealth and you want to live in a city where there are things to do for where our young people have space and do not have to deter to violence or the most obnoxious behaviors of teens. You want families to be able to grow and live here, and that requires good schools. Even if you don't have, little citizens in school that you all want those sorts of things. I know that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. And if I'm getting something wrong, drop it in the comments. If I'm missing something, drop it in the comments. Right? You want trust. You want to be able to trust in your leadership that we are transparent and that we are clear. It is the cornerstone of the work that we do for this for the Commonwealth. You want a good quality of life, right? Emphasis on all the people. You want a good quality of life for young people, for disabled people, for marginalized people. You want this to be an inclusive space where we spend money, right? Our budgets, the economic development that we choose to do, the job opportunities align with your values, right? And that we spend your tax dollars, whether it's at the state or the local level, in a way that makes sense. And that does require, as I represent this small piece of Norfolk, right? The small piece of the Commonwealth, that I bring the values, the shared values, because let me just be frank. We don't all have the same values. I see it in the comments, right? Y'all see it. We don't always have the same values, but we do have shared ones, right? We have shared ones that we want to see come to fruition, and you want to see them being brought both up and down, because there is no hierarchy here. There is a circle. There's a circle between state, federal, and local government, and it all sort of should flow. All of it should flow, right? Having a clear understanding. That is both vital and non-negotiable in order for us to take steps forward, right? So that's where I'm at about, can a visionless city, can it succeed? And I think as a person who was a non-elected, right? Like I was hard on, it was a lot of work being on the other side and trying to advocate for the things that I thought were important. Oftentimes, I'll be honest, as I always am, as honest and transparent as we choose to be. But I remember, and this is why I do the work the way I do it, is I remember when, good morning, Gracie. Good morning. what I remember very clearly, and which is why we are so hyper transparent with you all here, is I brought forth an idea to the locality, right? I brought this thing. It was called the Child Care Entrepreneurship Pilot Program that I had worked on for 2 years, 2 whole years, 2 freaking years, as an ambassador for the United States of Women. And I brought it forth. I actually called up both the Super Ward folks. I called up Councilwoman at the time, Williams Graves, and Councilwoman McClellan, talked to them a little bit more about the project, and said that I needed to build a better relationship with my council person because I didn't have one, right? Quite frankly, I couldn't access them. They were just, that was their style of leadership. I didn't have that means. And so I made a committed effort to work with my council person who, can I make it a great day, set your intentions.
Never.
And that building and being intentional with that relationship led for a piece of legislation to be brought forth to allow for folks to have home childcare, because we have to look at childcare as a social enterprise, not a social service. And it was just an amazing proposal. Submitted it to her, submitted it to the city. She went on to become the delegate to carry the legislation that was needed to make the entrepreneurship pilot program, possible. Right? That's good work, y'all. And I believe like you as doers, right? You as certified doers should be participatory in that way. However, again, not being a legislator, stepping out of the lens of a legislator, and it was prior to being elected, what I felt was when we brought a really amazing idea, a really amazing opportunity for our city, was kind of shut out. I'm not going to say kind of shut out. I was absolutely shut out. I was told this was not your idea, that you did. And it took the bravery of that councilwoman to say, no, we wouldn't be doing this if Jackie hadn't submitted this proposal. Now, that was my experience, right? As just a resident trying to do good for the city. And I started listening, right? As we got elected, listening to you all, and you were having the same issues, is that you have amazing ideas. You have a vision. And that I think we need space to hear that. Will everyone's vision be a part of the process? No, that's not going to happen. It's not. But can we look at the sentiment and bring a shared vision for the city of Norfolk, right? When they have one, and can that gel with what we do as legislators or what I do as your representative? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We can find space. So that is why we continue to do this. So if you are new to, again, I keep saying this, if you are new to the 93rd district, welcome, right? This is how we do business. If this is old hat for you, then let's get it. Let's certify doers. Let's just get it. We've got work to do to bring people in, because many of the issues that we deal with does not give a damn. It don't care whether you are an elephant or a donkey. Doesn't, right? It just doesn't. And we are a community that is very collective, right? We have a lot of transplant folks. We have a lot of people that just come in and we just want community. Will there be things that we diverge on, right? Just fundamentally as values, right? Will we? Yup. It's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. I expect that. I don't expect you or any of you to 100% buy into all of the things that we bring. But I do have the expectation that when the table is set, right? When the table is set, that if you've got an opinion, that you join it at least. And that's not just the tables that we set on social media. That's the real life in-person tables. That's the virtual tables. That's the email table. That's a table, right? Like that's my DMs, another table. Like the table is set. But I truly ask, my one thing is that you all choose to call me in before you call me out. Whether you agree with me or not, right? Call me in. Right. And you may still, after you call me in, you still may have to call me out. I am perfectly okay with that. I think that is absolutely normal. But we've got 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? Oh, God, not even. We're coming down to the wire. And I have the expectation that you all go out and vote your values. Right. I'm not. Of course, I absolutely am going to be the person to say, yes, I want you to, but I want you to vote your values. Period, across the board. And while I know that there are people here, and I'm going to get ready to wrap up, get ready to wrap up, and I see some comments, and I'll address some of the comments before I get off here. But I know I missed last week, so I had somebody pull up to my house and say, when we gonna get another morning dew? And I was like, I will be on tomorrow. You know who you are. You know who you are. I know you on here, and I appreciate that accountability, right? Because we believe in the ABCs of governance: accountability, boldness, because that was a bold statement, and then coalition building. We do this together. So where was I at? I said my expectation is that you go vote, like do it. Like I don't care. We are a city. That's what it was. We are a city that is heavily Democratic, right? Heavily. And so I can understand why there are some residents that feel like, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, the city that I've chosen to be in is heavily Democratic. And so I'll never see my values, but there's something that keeps you here, right? You're still living here. And if that was if people's political leanings were the whole basis of why you chose your space and place, then I think you would leave. But I think we all have a love and an infatuation for the city of Norfolk that's real, because it is an amazing place, and that we probably align more than we don't. Okay, so let me get to these comments real quick. I see Charlene said Virginia Natural Gas also provides ways to do energy audits. So when we started here, if you're just joining us, hey, on Instagram, hey, on all the other places, we talked about we are committed, certified doers. We are committed to getting our energy audit done. So I need you doers over here. We're trying to save you some monies. We're trying to figure out where your money is going. And we, as I said before, there are things we absolutely don't have control over: food prices, gas prices, all these things. But there are some consumption things that we can do. And I'm going to be trying to give you all of the tips that I can to help. And so one thing I want you all to commit to is doing an energy audit. Obviously, thank you, Ms. Charlene. Virginia Natural Gas does one. Dominion does one as well. So let's do pennies matter. Pennies matter. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Charlene. And Elizabeth, you have put, I don't know what this is, dssvirginia.gov. Can you tell me Department of Social Services, I imagine, Virginia.gov benefits? I'm not sure what that is. Can you drop that in the comment what that link is to, so I can tell everyone? Miss Charlene says, y'all, she says the JLARC study on childcare certainly proves that we need to seriously consider childcare as a problem. I mean, I no longer need childcare in that way, so I'm in a different situation. But here's what I do know is that when I had young babies, I did a lot of illegal shit. No other way to put it. As a service member, I had to be at work at 5 a.m. And sometimes I didn't get off until 7. And I don't know a childcare facility that opens up at 4:30 in the morning, do you? So I cry. I spent a lot of times crying in my car. I remember I worked with a girl named Amy Pena, to be exact. And she had a childcare issue. And what we would do is she would go to lunch and get her kid, or she would have her kid. And then I would go to lunch and sit in her car with her kid. And we would it was freaking ridiculous. We are in a crisis, and it's only getting worse. And that's why I am hoping at the state level that we can take some real steps towards seeing the business side of childcare. That's something that I'm working on. Excuse me. I'm working on. It's slow is smooth is fast. We have to have small wins, but I think if more localities took on this effort, the kind that we brought forth, and I'm seriously willing to share that childcare entrepreneurship pilot program. It is based off what the military does: child development homes, creating community childcare. There needs to be red tape, right? Quite honestly. And Miss Charlene, can you do me a favor? I can look this up, and so there is no pressure for you to share this with me. But do you have that JLARC study on childcare at your fingertips? If you do, can you send it my way? Because I don't believe I've even looked at that, to be quite. I don't think I've looked at it. And maybe I have. My brain has been fuzzy, y'all. It's been fuzzy. These weeks have been a blur. Okay. And then Elizabeth said it's the low income. Oh, thank you. So Elizabeth also dropped in the comments, the low income household water assistance program helps residents pay their water bills. Yes, great. There are programs out there. Part of my, and I'm going to put that back up on the screen here. Part of my issue is that very high threshold for people to qualify. We are hurting the middle class, and I don't even know. In my brain, I'm trying to synthesize what is low income at this point, because that number has raised. I know people making 50 grand a year that are struggling in ways that I just would never have imagined. So, yeah, we got to do some assessments. We got to do some assessments about how things are and are going to be. Let me check Instagram to make sure there's no questions, comments, concerns going up to the top. Oh, Nick says, are you still dropping off signs? I have some signs. If you'd like to, just drop them in the chat, drop the address or connect with the office and we'll get you some. I have no problem with that. Yep. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Oh, I'm going to get in big trouble. If you're interested in joining the certified doers on election day, you're like, hey, election day, I want to work. Okay. We've got, our team has started making phone calls, but please reach out to us. If you're on that list, you should have been called about joining us on election day. So we would love. For me, it's not about just having people there. It's about having the right people there. All right. And I'm way over time. Okay. Way over. I got to go before I get in trouble. I don't held y'all here long enough. We'll see you next Thursday. We are potentially doing a town hall next week with everything that's going on. I'm trying to make it happen and just trying to make it work with my day. I just had some things come up, but we're going to do the damn thing. All right. Be well. Till next time, I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 89th District, running in the 93rd, because that's what happens when the census comes around and we have to redistrict and all that good stuff. You know where to catch me. I will see you all sooner than later. Peace. Thank you, Ms. Charlene.